Kathy Taster of Kathy & Company, and today we are going to switch it up. We are going to do a down and dirty, super kind of low-tech-ish yoga class. And first I'm going to give like a little meditation to get into the mood, and then we are going to do a fairly generous stretch and then get a good workout. So let's get started. Let's put the soles of our feet together. Sit up nice and tall and straight, and place our hands on our knees, palms up. And if this is not a comfortable position for you, you could have your feet straight in front or whatever else is comfortable. Or if you want to lay on your back, you could also do that. Let's bring our attention to our breathing. Notice how it feels today. And let's count how long it takes to breathe in. And count how long it takes to breathe out. Now this time, let's try to lengthen our breath out from 2 seconds from whatever it was before. Notice how your body feels today. Is it relaxed, or is it holding tension or stress anywhere? We are going to work today in class on letting go of any of those places that may be holding tension. Let's take a deep breath in, and we're going to sync our movement to our breath. And as we breathe in, our shoulders are going to rise and circle and relax back. Breathe in and rise. Rise and relax back. Rise. All the movements today will be on your own timing, so if it doesn't exactly match what I do, that is fine. Let's take a deep breath in and grow a little taller. Let's bring our right hand across and reach our left hand back so we have a little bit of a twist. Exhale, come back around to the front. And again, spiral. Come back to the front. Breathe in and our left hand comes up. Reach our right hand back. Exhale, come back to the front. Spiral from you're sitting and let it grow out the top of your head. Exhale, come back to the front. Let's turn in our knees, slide our feet forward, grow taller again. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Gently, only go as far as feels comfortable. Breathe into our lower back. And come up to sitting. Breathe in and grow tall. Exhale, slide forward. Lengthen out the top of your head and come back up to sitting. Grow tall. Let's rock back in our hips and bring the soles of our feet together again for our tailor position. Lengthen from the top of our head. And we're going to spiral to the right. Fold over so our nose right here, is headed towards our knee. Now lengthen all the way up. Come back to the front. Grow taller. Gently spiral to the left and fold. Breathe into your back. And come up. Breathe in and lengthen. And spiral and melt down. Lengthen out the top of our head as if there's a light shining out the top of your head. And we grow taller and spiral to the left and fold. Lengthen. Come back around to the front. Turn our left palm up, scoop it overhead. Right hand comes down to the floor. Lengthen. Fold over. Feel the muscles where your arm attaches into your shoulder and your body. And that'll help keep you from folding in and stay more open in your heart center. Come up, scoop our right hand and side bend. You can lengthen from your elbow, but let's try not to reach out of our armpit. And come up, bring our knees together, slide our feet forward, grow taller. Exhale, slide our hands forward and be gentle on our body. And rise up, grow taller, slide forward, going to the point where you feel a little tension, but not actually pain or any roughness in your breathing. Breathe in and come up. We're going to swing our feet around. So we are going to lay down on our backs. Let's step our feet so they are on the floor. And feel your back on the floor. as if it's making an imprint in the sand. Nice warm sand underneath you, helping your muscles relax. Breathe in. Let's bring our arms to a T position. Walk our feet together. And we are going to slowly rock our knees a little to the right and a little to the left. And each time we rock, we are going to make the movement a little bit bigger. And your knees come close to the floor, maybe. And see how close they can come. You should feel some stretch in your side, maybe the side of your hip, and maybe in the shoulder that's behind you. Breathe into your abs and your side. Exhale, bring our knees up and rock them over to the other side. Be gentle with yourself. Breathe into the stretch. And bring your knees back up. Slide your feet out long. And bring your hands down to your sides. Notice how your body feels now. And let's take our right leg, slide our foot up, bring our knee over our body. Breathe in and allow gravity to do the work. Instead of your arms pulling your knee into your body. Exhale, bring our foot up and bring our hands behind our knee so it's as if our foot is stepping on the ceiling. Exhale, let's lengthen our leg. If it doesn't want to go completely straight, that's fine. We want to leave our muscles relaxed. And now we are going to turn our knee out to the side. Bring our hands towards the outside of our foot. Let our foot fall in towards our ribs. And then lengthen. And gently bring our leg down. Take a deep breath in. And slide the other leg up. Bring our knee in towards our body. Then step on the ceiling with our hands gently clasped behind our leg. Lengthen our leg out gently. Turn our leg out towards our shoulder. Gently bring our hands towards our foot and try not to pull our foot in so it's sickled. Foot should try to stay in line with your lower leg. Lengthen and float it down. Breathe in. And let's slide our other leg up. Lengthen it. Bring your right hand on the inside of your leg. Gently open to the side, and this other hand is out shoulder height. Now bring this hand under the bottom. Bring your knee in. Cross your knee over. Bring your left arm in and your leg down. We are going to take the top leg, bring the knee towards the floor. Roll over onto our back. Feet are stepping on the floor. Slide out your right leg and then your left, so you're long again. And bring our left leg up. Open our right arm to the floor. Bring our left leg out to the side. Cross. Bring your knee across your body. Breathe in. Lower our leg and bring our arm so it hangs behind us. Cross the top knee down towards the floor in the back, and we're going to stretch our ITB band up here along the side. And come back so our feet are on the floor. Roll over to your side in a curled up position. We're going to take the top leg, stretch it out long. And let's come and bring our knees underneath us. If you want to, you can roll up your yoga mat so you have a little more padding under your knees. And bring our hands in front. And let's go circle our body. We're going to do a little wrist warm up and stretch. Because later on in class, we are going to put our weight on our hands. And then around to the right. All right. Now let's take a step forward with our right knee, right leg. Breathe in and bring our hands to our quad. Find a place on that knee that seems to feel all right if you can. And now we're going to take this left arm, scoop over to the side, and we're going to stretch our psoas muscle in our hips. And bring our hands down, switch legs. Bring our hands over our quads. We're stretching our greater trochanter. Scoop our right hand up. Tilt as much to the side as going to work for you. Exhale, bring our hands down. Step back. And let's walk our feet up. Hang over. Roll up. Breathe in and grow tall. Exhale, roll our body down. And then roll up and stack each bone of our spine on one on top of another. Feel yourself nice and tall and strong like a mountain. And exhale, relax and soften your muscles. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. Breathe in, allow our hands to rise up. Exhale, let's side bend to the right. Breathe in and come up. Exhale to the left, trying to keep your heart center open instead of rotating. Come up. Melt our hands down to our heart and release them down to your sides. Now let's step our feet apart, and we are going to turn out our right toes. Breathe in, our hands float up to a T shape, well, T in our arms. Exhale, side bend, triangle. And your gaze can be up at your fingertips or right at the center, whatever feels more comfortable. Exhale, let's bring the top hand down. Now let's walk our way so we are facing the front. We are going to lunge, bend our right knee. And rise, lunge, and rise, lunge, and rise, lunge, and rise. Lengthen from the top of our head. Exhale, forward bend. Breathe in. Exhale, come back up. Float our hands out out to that wide position. Exhale, bend our knees. We're trying to stay nice and vertical in our body here, instead of kind of having this tilted forward. And then, ooh, look at my knees, they're way out front. We want to try to keep our knees over our toes. It's much safer for the ligaments on the inside of your knee. We really want to protect those. So let's bend and rise and rise up and lower and bend and come to standing and balancing pecs and lower. Exhale and rise and X and lower and rise, X and lower and rise and this next one we're going to stay down a little longer, down and bring our hands up as if we are trying to hold coffee cups on top of them. Breathe in. Exhale, rise. Now we're going to lunge to the left and come up and lunge and come up, lunge and come up, lunge and come up. Float our hands wide. Let's come over, straight legs, wide and forward bend. Then our front hand reaches up for triangle pose. And then come up, body facing front, and step our feet together. Float our hands up. Side bend, half moon to the left. Breathe in, come up. Exhale to the right. Come up. Melt our hands down. Lengthen. And hang over. Come up, tilt to the right. Come up, step apart, and turn out your left foot. Exhale, triangle pose. Bring the top hand down. Walk our hands around and bring our hands to our quad. Breathe in as we come up. Exhale as you go down. Come up. And up. And down. And up. And down. Come up. Cheating our feet a little closer because it feels better when we rise up. And balancing X or star. Exhale. And down. And down. And rise. And this time a little extra challenge. Breathe in and hold. Exhale, rise. And bend our right leg. And rise. And again. And rise. And rise. And rise. Float our arms up and fold over. Front arm reaches for the ceiling. And rise up. Step our feet together. Float our hands up. Half moon to the right. Come up. Melt your knees. Fold over. Come up. And relax our hands down. Feel the ground under your feet. Feel your shoulders over your hips and a long line from your feet out the top of your head. So we'll grow a little taller from the top of our head. And then let's roll down. And then come up. Lengthen. things kind of go vertically, so I think it'll be better. Okay. Let's float our hands up and to our heart. Breathe in, they come up over our head. And open our heart center to the sky. Float our hands apart. We are gonna sit back in an imaginary chair for awkward chair pose. Breathe in and come up. Exhale. Bring our weight into our heels and our hands up highish by our eyebrows. And come up. Exhale. And rise. Rise. Oop, going down. And rise. And a little more challenge on these next two. Float our hands up. Bring our hands to our heart. And if it feels comfortable, spiral your left elbow towards your right leg. Come back to the center, still down, and spiral the other way towards the left. Come back to the center, float our hands out, and come up. Breathe in and float our hands out. Bring them to our heart. Spiral to the left. Back to the center. Spiral to the right. To the center. Float our hands up. Rise up. And forward bend. And step. Walk our hands out. Step our right foot out so we have a lunge position. And right here, try to keep your knee over your foot instead of some kind of weird rolling. Much better for your knees and ankles. And gently switch legs. And let's bring both our knees back behind us. Let's rock forward and back. Warming up our wrists because we're going to bear weight on them. Turn our hands out to the side, heels of our hands together, elbows straight. Rock right and left. Sit back on your feet or wherever is comfortable and just kind of shake out your wrists. Move them around, whatever they feel like they need to do. And bring our hands in front. Get our toes ready to stand on. Lengthen from the top of our head. And elbows in towards our body. Core strong. Knees down. Exhale, plank. Lower our knees. Exhale, plank again. And lower. Exhale, plank. Lower our knees. Exhale. Roll our right hip down and our left hip, if you like, back to the center. Knees down. Give a little wiggle. And up. And left hip down. And spiral right hip down. Back to the center. Bring our knees down. Rock back to child's pose. You can have your hands here in front, or you can scoop them behind. Now we definitely need them in front. We're gonna lay down prone on our stomach, hands under our shoulders. Lengthen from the top of your head. Rise, lift your head and your shoulders, elbows close to your body, shoulders away from your head, and release. Breathe in, rise a little further, and release. A little higher if it feels okay. This is a little too high. We should actually have our hips on the floor. Otherwise, we're not stretching our front muscles and strengthening our back muscles. We're just kind of doing a weird push-up if your hips are off the floor. And lengthen from the top of our head. And lower. And rise. And lower. And rise. And lower. Tuck our toes again so they're ready to stand on. And you might need to walk those fingers back. We are going to go to triangle to down dog pose. Heels are down. And we are rocking back, lengthening through our hips. And shift to plank pose. Rock back. And shift. Down dog. And shift forward. Rock back to dog. And shift forward. Down dog. Last plank for now. Down dog. Shift forward with our right foot. And let's step together. And step our left foot back. All right, now let's bring our hands to our quad for a higher lunge. Make sure you get your feet in a place where you can stay for a bit. We're gonna bring our hands to our heart, float them up, open them to the side, spiral around to the left, warrior two, and then spiral the other way. Bring our hands to our heart and melt them down to the floor. Switch feet. Palms down flat. This is one of my pet peeves. Your fingers are really small. You're not really meant to bear your weight on your fingers. You can dislocate them. All right, so we have our lunge. Bring our hands to our quad. Let's work that heel down in the back. Bring our hands to our heart. Float them up. Out to the side. Spiral to the right. Spiral to the left. Bring our hands back to our heart. And down. Step our feet together and hang over. Float our hands out, chair pose. And breathe in and come up. Exhale. And rise. And lower. Come up. And lower. And come up. And a little longer, a little more challenge this time. Down. Bring our hands to our heart. Spiral right elbow to left side. Or just stay in the plain chair. Back to the center. Hands float up. Come back up to vertical. Exhale. Bring our hands to our heart. Spiral. Spiral this left elbow. Center. Other way. Back to the center. Hands float out. Rise. Float our hands up. Lengthen to the sky. And melt our hands to our heart and down to our sides. Take a moment here in mountain pose to feel our body once again, to check in with it. Breathe in, our hands come to our heart. They rise up. Exhale, chair. And rise. Chair. And rise. And chair. And rise. Chair. And rise. And the longer one, chair. Hands to prayer. And right elbow to left side. Center. And spiral the other way. Center. Hands up. Come up again. And down. Hands to our heart. Twist to the right. Center. Left. Center. Hands float up. Fold over. Step our left foot back. Switch legs. And come to all fours. Rock forward and back. And again, turn our hands out. Just having a little fun with it. And bring our hands in front, get our toes ready, and plank. Lower our knees, and rise. Lower. Rise and lower, rise. I find it easier to spiral our elbows, the creases are facing a little forward, and lower, rise, twist to the right, center, left, center, lower our knees, breath, come up, twist left, center, right, center, lower our knees, rock back to child's pose. Come forward and melt down to supine. You may want to widen your legs a little bit and experiment now with our Sphinx. If you like to press your hips down into the floor, sometimes it feels good to squeeze your inner thighs together as if you're holding something. We want to lift our head and our shoulders, hugging our elbows in and lower. And rise a little more. And lower. And rise. Make sure your hips are still on the floor. Getting the best stretch this way. And lower. Rise. Not shoulders up. Try to lengthen them down. and lower, and rise, and lower. Tuck our toes behind us. We're gonna go to down dog, so get our hands ready where they need to be. Exhale, rock to down dog. And rock to plank. Down dog. And rock. And rock. And rock to plank. Down dog. Plank. Down dog. Last plank. Down dog. Step forward with your left foot. Bring our hands to our quad so we have a high lunge. Work that heel down in the back, and it can turn out, so our toes are to the side. Bring our hands to our heart. Breathe in, they rise up for warrior one. Hands flow to the side, spiral to the right for warrior two. And spiral the other way, warrior three. Bring our hands to our heart. And down to the ground. Switch legs. Bring our hands to our quad. Breathe in, they come to our heart. And then they rise up. Twist to the left. And then to the right. Bring our hands to our heart. Then they melt down to the floor. Step our feet together. And float our hands out front. Bring our hand, float them down. And chair. Rise. Exhale. And rise. Chair. And rise. And our extra challenge round. Melt down. Bring our hands to our heart. And now we're going to twist to the right. Come to the front. And to the left. And to the center. Float our hands up. And rise. Breathe in. Exhale. Hands to our heart. Twist to the left. like to get my feet a little bit closer together to start. Our hands are gonna come to our heart and turn out our right knee, slide our foot up our leg, float our hands up, breathe, and down. And then our left leg, and down. Right leg, and lower, and left, and lower. Melt our hands down, lengthen from the top of our head, and roll down. And roll up. And roll down. And roll up. And let's take another body check. Notice how you are feeling. If there's any place that is holding tension, tell it to soften and relax. Let's melt back down to the floor, and I'm going to turn my mat around. If you like the way yours is, you don't have to. And I also want to do a little time check to make sure I get all the good stuff in. So let's see what we've got here. Does it bother you when your mat's not straight? Kind of weird, isn't it? Anyways, let's do some ab work. Let's bring our hands behind our head. I like to hook my fingers like this, or you can place your hands cupping your ears, but the idea is to use the work with our abs and to not pull on our head. Let's float our feet up, bring our hands however you'd like, and exhale, rise, and lower, and rise, and lower, and lower, and rise, and lower. Sometimes it also helps to think of leading with your chin and not the top of your head. And rise. We're gonna hold this time. And hold. Exhale, lower. And rise. And lower. Rise. And lower. And rise. And lower. Rise. And lower. Rise. And lower. Rise. We're gonna hold a little more. Breathe in. And release. And bring our feet to the floor. Take your hands out from behind your head and make a T position. We are going to float our feet up, and we are going to try to have a straight right angle. Not this one so much, but more like this if we can. And imagine your back imprinting on that warm sand. Really feel the shape. And keeping all of your back, both hips, both shoulders on the floor. Bring your knees to the right side and the center and the left side. Really try to keep this down and center, and then point your toes like bananas. Bring just the tippy tips of your toes down, and then draw a circle out and in. And over to the left. And center. And right. Breathe in, they come up. Exhale, they lower to tippy toes. And up. And try not to let your body fall into where your legs are going. If that makes sense, come to the center, over to the right, center, and tippy toes to the floor. And rise to the left, to the center, to the right, and center, and lower, and rise, and over to one side, and center, over to the other side, and center. And this time we get to lower our feet all the way down, slide our feet out long, and bring our hands down to our sides. Breathe in, reach our hands up to the ceiling, and then float them overhead. Reach long, and take a nice deep breath into your ribs. Notice your ribs coming apart and together. And float our hands down to our sides. I'm going to do another sneak peek at the time. Okay. And now let's bring our palms so they are facing up towards the ceiling. And now it's time to just relax and enjoy this moment. Checking out how your body feels right now in the moment. And I want you to imagine your favorite warm color. Imagine it like an energy, and we can feel it at the tips of our toes, and it washes up our feet over the tops and the soles of our feet. It washes up to our ankles, and it brings a beautiful sense of relaxation. It washes up our lower legs, up our shins, up the Achilles tendon in the back. It comes to the back of our knees. It rises up our quads and our thighs and our hamstrings. It rises up your back, up to your shoulders and your head. And let's give everything a little shake and a little jiggle. Bring some energy back in. And let's point and flex our feet so it gives your body a little rock and a little massage on the floor. And slowly bring that movement, fade it away. And then let's turn our toes in and out and allow your legs to rock with your feet. And the same with your hands. Allow your arms to come along for the ride. And then allow the movement to fade away. And now let's rock our hips side to side. If it helps to close your eyes and remind yourself that probably nobody is watching, unless of course you're making a yoga video, and then relax. Let's slide our feet up so they're stepping on the floor. Float our knees up. Bring our hands over our knees. And we will hug and release so we get another rock in our back. And then rock side to side. And rock over to your side so you're curled up. Lengthen the top leg. Allow it to pull you up. Bring the soles of our feet together. Bring the palms of our hands facing up on our knees. Sit up nice and tall. Let's fold over forward. And come back up to sitting. And fold over forward. Come back up to sitting. Bring our hands to our heart. May what is special about me salute what is special about you. I hope you enjoyed tonight's class, and I hope you enjoyed our playlist, which featured a lot of Indigenous artists, which I love to use. And till next week, bye.